Good morning, everyone. It has been a while since I've done a video, and I have been getting lots of questions about how I do my dry canning. So to make my process a little bit easier to understand and to clear up some of those concerns, I'm going to do a series of videos where I just show one item that I dry can. So today I'm going to be doing macaroni pasta, so let's get started. So for this video, I'm going to be using Aldi's brand elbow macaroni, and these are each 32 ounces, which is 2 pounds. And then I managed to get some ball quart-sized mason jars at my Walmart. Now I prefer the wide mouth when I am dry canning pasta, but I'm going to use whatever I can get right now. So how I determine how much pasta I am going to dry can depends on the type of pasta and what my family is going to be using. You may have seen in my last video I did do half-gallon sized jars, which I don't do very often. Usually I do the quart jars because one of these opened will make 2 meals for my family. So once I've opened it, it is not exposed to whatever elements might be going on, and so I can use it quickly before it gets contaminated or just goes bad. So I start by taking my jars and lids and I put them on a cookie sheet. And I think I'm going to end up doing 3 of these because we're having some of that pasta. We're having some of that pasta for dinner tonight. So as I said, my oven is heating up to about 2 to 225. My jars that I'm going to be using are on a cookie sheet, and I'm going to slide that into the oven and let it heat up for about 30 minutes. Once these are heated up and we put the food in them, it'll be the same temperature that the oven will be the same temperature that we preheated the jars to, that we will also be canning the jars at, if that makes sense. And I'll have that down in the description, so you don't have to go back through the video and find that information. So I'm just going to slide these in. And as you can see, they're on the top rack, and I'm just going to set the timer for about 30 minutes. Okay, so they've been in there for about 30 minutes. I usually use my dish towel at this point. And my funnel. I just open my box, and then I'm just going to fill it all the way up. It's warm. Okay, so you can see, I don't really have to worry about head space. I can kind of shake it down and get a little bit more in there if I want. And then I'm going to put a lid and a ring on each one. And I'm not cinching it down all the way. You want a little bit of wiggle room. And I'm going to put it back on the pan and repeat. Now remember what I said about each one of these jars holds 2 meals for my family, and I'm only doing 3 jars because I'm using part of this box for a meal tonight. Never touch inside the jars on any kind of canning that you're doing. You do not want to reintroduce contaminants into it, especially after we have already sterilized the jars, which is the process that we just went through in putting them in the oven. And I'm going to set this aside for tonight's dinner. Now I'm going to take these jars and I'm going to put them back in the oven at 200 degrees, and I'm going to heat them for 30 minutes. And then when I pull them out, we'll close all these rings, and like traditional canning, eventually we will hear the pops. Hey, Kishimu. Okay, just like that, and we'll close it up, let it go for 30 minutes. Hello, Kishimu. All right, so it's been about 30 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and get these jars pulled out. Alright, you will notice that, remember, I kept those lids loose. So now is when I will go ahead and tighten them up. Hold the jar secure with my dish towel. I'm going to take my pot holder and I'm going to turn it till it cannot turn anymore, and then set my jar aside. So I will go ahead and let these sit on the counter and cool off. Very shortly, oops, I pushed that one down. Very shortly I will hear the pops to show me that they are sealed, and then at that point I'll put my labels on and put them up in my pantry. I will be doing a video later this week on how to label your jars for your food pantry and how to do food rotation. Food rotation is so important. That is one of the #1 causes to your food pantry going bad, is forgetting to rotate your foods forward, getting rid of the old ones, or using the old ones first when you bring in new stuff. So obviously these will be going to the back of the pantry, and the stuff that is already there will be moved forward as we continue that rotation. I will put the process of how I dry canned the elbow macaroni from Aldi's into the description below. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.